The Tigrex is a brute wyvern from the game Monster Hunter. It's an aggressive monster that leaves little room to breathe. Its loud roar sends echoes in the arena it fights in. It charges with extreme strength and brute force to demolish its prey. A gatekeeper monster that tests the skills of the hunter. One single mistake and the Tigrex retaliates with devastating punishment. It's the monster I love, and it's the monster I base my Hive Fleet on. This is how you paint my custom Hive Fleet. Hive Fleet, Tigrex. So today, I'm going to be showing you how to paint my custom Hive Fleet Tigrex. This color scheme is pretty easy and it comes out with a pretty striking result. This does take longer than other schemes, so I recommend batch painting your models. So without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So the first step to any painting project is the priming of the model. I prime my models white with Rust-Oleum white primer, as most of the model is painted in lighter colors. Priming multiple models, I have a stick attached to a base. I put double-sided tape on the top so I can quickly attach models and take them off. It's tacky enough so that it sticks well and it's pretty easy to take off. I attach a base so I can put it on a painting handle. A good tip when priming is to have a bowl of warm water next to you. You can keep the spray can in it for about 3 minutes before you prime, and it helps the paint come out smoother and the coverage will be better. Go in short bursts as you want a nice even coat of paint. White is a color notorious for being hard to prime, so grab a spare sprue with bits on it and spray it to see the results you get. The first paint that will be applied is Skeleton Horde. Apply a nice coat all over the miniature, avoiding the carapace. You can be as messy as you want with this stage, as the other colors cover extremely well. Inevitably, you will get some of the Skeleton Horde on the carapace. That's okay. Just know it's going to take a couple more coats of the orange, or you can cover it with white. The next paint we will use is Voluptuous Pink. This will be used on the exposed flesh, the gun, and other fleshy bits. The pink goes over really well over Skeleton Horde, and if you got some on places you don't want, you can always apply Wraithbone and Skeleton Horde to clean it up. Now we'll paint the claws and the hooves with Black Templar. Again, same with the last steps, the black covers really well, but I recommend doing 2 coats to get a nice solid black. We're going to base the carapace with Master Series Marigold Yellow. Similar colors from different brands are Fire Dragon Bright and Vallejo Light Orange. Make sure to properly thin your paints down, as you don't want it coming out thick and gross. This will take multiple coats, so take your time. Make sure to let each coat dry and don't try to rush it. Next comes the patterning. I use Citadel Aramon Blue to add a blue strip near the front of each carapace. Then, I add a triangle in the middle of the carapace. Remember to thin this paint down as to not thicken up the areas. When you reach the head carapace, paint the first 2 completely blue, then add a bit of blue to the third, then continue doing the regular patterning with the last ones. I do this because of how the head of the Tigrex actually is. The triangle just adds some nice variety. Now we apply a recessed shade to the carapace. Be careful not to overdo this, as it easily stains the orange. I use this thin, long brush for this, but any brush can work. Just take your time. We are almost done, as now it's time to do some quick edge highlighting. For the blue parts of the carapace, I use Master Series Surf Aqua, and for the orange, I use a 1-to-1 mixture of Marigold Yellow and Vallejo Model Color White. Remember, edge highlighting is all about the angle of the brush, so try to get angles that you can easily edge highlight in. Lastly, we're going to fill in the eyes and the teeth. I use Vallejo Model Color White and Intermediate Green. I use the green for the eyes and the white for the teeth. Make sure not to get any of the white on the tongue. And that's it! I use Valhalla and Blizzard on the base to represent the first time you fight Tigrex, and Monster Hunter Freedom 2. I paint the rims black and call the model complete. I think it's a pretty nice scheme, and I believe it's a good representation of Tigrex. The longest part is the Carapace, but if you're badge painting, it goes by pretty quickly. I will probably show off how it's painted on different units like the Warriors or the Carnifex. And that's it for this video. I hope to have everything painted and ready for my next video. So, I'll see you next time.